Mr. Rohtagi, thank you very much for joining us on what's been an important day as far as the Adani-Hindenburg saga is concerned. Can I start by asking you, and I'm quoting from the Supreme Court appointed committee report, they say taking into account the explanations provided by SEBI, supported by empirical data, prima facie, it would not be possible for the committee to conclude that there have been regulatory failures around the allegation of price manipulation. Mr. Rohatgi, how does this qualify as a clean chit?
There is no doubt that if you read the entire executive committee of the executive summary of the report, that there is a complete clean chit to the Adani Group. It has found that there is no evidence to suggest any stock price manipulation by the group. It has also found that it has not breached any related party transaction. It has also not found any substance in Adani not maintaining minimum public shareholding. And it has in fact found that 6 entities had gained unscrupulous profits by this report being leaked to them. So they did some short selling. The names of the 6 have not been disclosed, except that 4 seem to be foreigners, that they have made some money by short selling prior to the disclosure of the reports on 24th of January, and thereafter they sold at a profit. And it's therefore clear that Adani has also had nothing to do with any short selling. In fact, there is also a positive marker in the report, namely that Adani has done his bit or its bit to mitigate this feeling of uncertainty and boost the investor confidence and maintain stable prices of the stock have been maintained, though not at the level of prior to 24th of January, but certainly that the prices are stable, so there is no need to panic. And the report kind of, as of now, exonerates the group from all angles and suspicions which were raised at the relevant time.
But the report that has been submitted by the committee, Mr. Rohatgi, also says that SEBI has disclosed to them that they are investigating 13 opaque overseas entities related to the Adanis since October 2020, much before the Hindenburg report became public.
Yeah, so, I mean, there is nothing wrong in somebody saying that there is investigation. Investigation does not mean that the party who is being investigated has already been found guilty of any malfeasance or misfeasance. If they are investigating, they are welcome to investigate. But as of today, the report of this committee headed by a retired judge of the Supreme Court takes the field, and as of today is very, very clear, including taking SEBI inputs as of now, that this group is not subject to any such violations.
Okay, sir, as was expected, the entire Hindenburg-Adani issue has been a political issue as well here in India. You've had the opposition demanding a JPC. As soon as, newspaper reports became public, you have the Congress tweeting, and you have Jairam Ramesh of the Congress who has tweeted to say that, the findings of the committee are absolutely predictable. And let me quote what they are saying actually, so that you can respond to that. They say, we wish to say nothing more on the committee's report given the eminence of its members, except to say its conclusions were predictable, and with all its limitations, to spin the committee's report as having given a clean chit to the Adani Group is wholly bogus. Essentially to say that when we start saying that this was a clean chit to the Adanis by the Supreme Court appointed committee, that is a spin entirely bogus, because the SEBI itself is saying that they are investigating 13 opaque overseas entities related to the Adani since 2020.
Look, Shreya, first of all, I am not a politician. So I don't want to comment on political barbs, but from whatever you have just said, it's very clear to me that these people are taking absolutely contradictory stands. In the first breath, they say we don't want to say anything about the eminence of the members of the committee, including a respected retired judge of the Supreme Court. In the other breath, they say that it is predictable and bogus. How will you, synchronize these two situations? It's like saying the committee is suspect, and we knew that the report which will come will favor Adani, and therefore we have no confidence. They should have the guts to say that openly rather than putting it in this form. But let me tell you, once you say that you have respect for the committee and there are no allegations against any member, much less the Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court, where is the question of saying that it is predictable? How can you say it is predictable? They have examined it. There was no pressure on them. They are appointees of the highest court in the land. They were assisted by all other organizations, including SEBI, and they have come to a dispassionate conclusion that as of now, whatever the material they have seen, there is no room to point a finger at the group and accuse it of malfeasance. It's as simple as that. And why should anybody equate Adani with, the government? The persons who are making these barbs are persons belonging to one political party. Their suggestion seems to be as if Adani is a part of the government or is, supported by the government. Adani is an independent group with a huge market cap of lakhs of, crores. And mind you, is something very important which I wish to say. It is not as if that, it is Mr. Adani. Adani is one individual or one family. The stock of these companies which are publicly listed has been purchased and is being traded by lakhs and tens of lakhs of shareholders. They are the ones who gain or lose, not Mr. Adani. So this was really an attack on the Indian stock market by foreign forces who want to destabilize the market and destabilize the economy of this country. That is why all these things are made. But actually they are affecting lakhs and crores of people. It's very, very wanton, it's been arbitrary, and it was calculated to do all this. And the Indian stock market, in terms of lakhs of shareholders, have actually suffered. So what's the great point of saying that we knew the report will be predictable? Why don't they realize that the effect is on millions of shareholders?